is Matt Starr, and I'm a solutions architect at JBS International. I got my first opportunity to learn about and gain experience with programming at a summer camp when I was in the 4th or 5th grade. Like you, a summer camp was the first time that I had structured instruction for programming. We were introduced to an older language called Pascal, and eventually we were shown the basics of C. Like many of my friends, as well as the high school students that were instructors at this camp, playing computer games and wanting to be able to make them was my initial motivation for wanting to get into programming, and is what prompted me to sign up for that course, possibly like some of you. After spending a lot of time on the family computer and being introduced to the internet, I realized that it could also be fun to create web pages, and I was able to learn some of the basics of HTML and web development in following years at the same camp. This is a skill whose fundamentals have not changed since then, but the available tools and languages that are out now have grown beyond belief. During high school, I took more computer classes and had the opportunity to work at a computer repair shop, which gave me experience troubleshooting hardware and software. Ultimately, I decided that I would pursue a degree and a career in software development. During my time at school and in between semesters, I discovered the fun in combining hardware and software. Starting off as kind of a joke, some of my friends and I set up a channel on Twitch that allowed the viewer to water and adjust the lighting for plants on a live stream through the use of a chatbot that we wrote. Part of this also required learning 3D design software and 3D printing the parts for the hardware. Another friend decided that he wanted to automate a meat smoker. He came to me, we had a discussion about what needed to be done, and by the end of the summer we had a Raspberry Pi computer that was able to log and graph the data from several sensors and to control airflow to a smoker so that we could cook at a desired temperature. We would then get an email when the food was ready to eat based on its temperature. There are seemingly limitless possibilities in terms of what can be done with software development, and the software that you write does not have to be limited for use on a PC, phone, or tablet. Take what you've learned at Montgomery Can Code and start a new project that involves something you're familiar with, but also that forces you to attempt to learn something entirely new. Pick something difficult, but you think you can do eventually. If you're able to do it, you will have learned a lot and have something accomplished that you can keep. If you do not completely succeed, try something else and adjust your goal next time. But know that you did not waste your time because you learned something that you can use moving forward. I have a lot of projects that I started and abandoned for whatever reason, but I'm still glad that I spent time on each of them. This is something that the best developers I know and work with do, and something that I try to continue as well. My first paid job in the field was some basic development and server administration for a small company that is responsible for arranging the delivery of a large percentage of educational and commercial payloads to the International Space Station. As with every job to follow, I was asked to use technology I was not familiar with and to learn about a field that I had no knowledge of previously. In the computer science field, you're often expected to be able to take something you know nothing about and to become skilled with it in a short period of time. I'm sure that you will or do have a sense of this after having completed your project or projects within this camp. In addition to the computer science skills I learned on this job, I gained a lot of knowledge about spaceflight, hardware, and the International Space Station that I never thought I'd have a chance to learn about. In the DMV area, it seems that a tremendous amount of the available jobs are either working for the government or as a contractor at a company that does some form of work for the government. I wanted a job that at the end of the day I could feel satisfied with what I had done and that it had some part in helping people, either directly or by supporting others that help people. You obviously don't need to pick your job now, but if this experience has nudged you in a specific direction, go out of your way to make it happen later on. After finishing school, I was able to work at a company that is contracted to the National Cancer Institute. While doing work for NCI, I was able to work on systems that easier allowed researchers to share their cancer research with other institutions, and a system to allow nurses to easier register and monitor enrollments for patients in clinical trials. This work involved taking advantage of almost everything that I learned in school, so it was both challenging and fun. This included creating web applications and dealing with cancer research data. I have a hard time expressing how amazing it was to get to work alongside the passionate researchers and experts whose job it is to spend their day trying to find cures for different types of cancer and diseases. For the project you chose to do, Imagine if you were working with an expert in the topic or area that you focused on. This is part of the fun of having a job in computer science. After being contracted to the National Cancer Institute, I got a job working with JBS International. At JBS, I'm working on several different ongoing projects every day and have both the requirement and opportunity to learn many different programming languages that are used for many different projects. We design, implement, and maintain applications and websites to support a variety of government customers. Like all of my previous jobs, I bring my experience and expertise in computer science to complete projects that require collaboration with experts in other fields. This has ranged from websites to help create a legal document for people diagnosed with or worried about dementia, to creating websites to easily host and share resources for groups that help people struggling with substance abuse. One of our ongoing projects involves developing a smartphone application that uses an artificial intelligence chatbot to help provide information and recommendations to users with a certain medical condition that are concerned about the health of their new or unborn child, and to help answer questions and provide advice regarding their own health. I never in a million years would have imagined I would ever be excited about food nutrition data. One of our current projects is converting an existing USDA food nutrition website to use a very powerful but less commonly used database system. This involves looking at how the data is stored and organized and changing it so that it can be connected and optimized in a way that makes it more usable and searchable. If you search for potato, you very well might want French fry to be a result. Think about the different ways that you could connect the idea of potato to French fry, and think about what that might take to make it happen. How would you do this for thousands of foods that might be connected but don't share a common word? This is a seemingly simple problem, but once you start to try to solve it, you can quickly see where the difficulties can come in. I'm sure that with your project, you had several tasks like this which seem simple at first, but require a great deal of effort and thinking in order to get past. I believe I'd be doing a disservice if I did not give advice that I wish I had been given when I first started learning about software development. If you find enjoyment in development, do as much as you can whenever you can. Come up with projects and goals. Don't stick to what you're comfortable with. Make sure to always be challenging yourself and learning something new, even if you only use it once. I can't stress enough the importance of learning advanced math if you want to excel in this field and to have as many doors open to you as possible, such as those that involve game development and virtual reality, if that's the direction that you want to go in. There are countless free lessons and courses online, including on Khan Academy and YouTube, and there are lots of paid courses such as those on Udemy and Lynda. Don't limit yourself to what you're taught in school. With this field and the education to help you do your best, there's a lot of work ahead, but if overall you're having fun with it, I hope that you're able to say you have found a field that you can consider a career in. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Montgomery Can Code experience.